bonfire night. Bonfire night brings back many special childhood memories, being around my nan's, rockets being shot out of glass milk bottles, Catherine wheels being nailed to the shed doors, and of course food. Sausages normally, sometimes burnt, baked potatoes, normally cooked in the fire. Good memories, good times. So I'm going to try and recreate a little bit of my childhood, and we're going to do some sausages and potatoes on the fire. So we're going to stick some bangers over the fire, we're going to stick some jacket potatoes in the fire, in the coals, in the embers, but we're also going to create a bit of a centrepiece. We're going to take some sausages, we're going to turn them into one big sausage, stuff it with cheese and beans. It's going to be a good one. So let's crack on and start skinning these sausages. So for this, all we're going to do is just take 6 sausages and just take the skin off of each one. So just with a sharp knife, just slice along the sausage. So we're just going to remove the skin from here and then just pop those sausages back in there. So there's our sausage meat. We're going to tip that out and we're just going to form this into one giant ball. Make sure it's all combined, mixed together into a big ball of pork mince. So that's the sausage meat ready. So next, you're going to get yourself some nice thin streaky bacon, and we're just going to lay this out onto our board. And this is what we're going to be wrapping the sausage meat in. So we've got a pack here, and we just want to layer it onto the board. If you can, just stretch it out a little bit, and then we're just going to slightly overlap with the next bit. Stretch it out a little bit, just a slight overlap. And we're just going to do this along our board with all of the bacon. This is one of those recipes that's fun. It's good to get the kids involved, get the whole family involved. Bonfire night should be about getting family around the fire, fireworks, food, family. So there's our bacon laid out. And next, we're going to take this big ball of sausage meat. We're just going to try and roll it out a little bit to the kind of length of the bacon. Kind of take your sausage meat like that, stretch it out. There we go. And then you just want to kind of flatten it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we're just flattening it out, flattening it out. We want to create a nice area that we can stick our beans in, stick our cheese in, and then still obviously roll the meat around the cheese and around the beans. So spread it out as much as we can. So we have our bacon, we have our sausage meat, pork, and yes, more pork. Now, I'm going to be putting some prosciutto on here. Reason being is I want to try and save the juices from the beans from just running into that sausage meat and drying up. So I'm hoping that this prosciutto is going to form a little barrier to protect all that bean juice. So when we cut into this, you're going to get oozy cheese and beans. So we're just going to take some of this and just layer this on top of the sausage meat. And again, just a slight overlap each time. So we have pork, and more pork. Now let's go with the cheese and beans. So just got a few beans here, we've got some grated cheese. So we're going to start with a little layer of grated cheese in the middle there, and then we're just going to take our beans and just pour that onto the cheese. And then just a touch more cheese, because you can never have too much cheese, right? So touch more cheese on there, and there we go. Now the tricky part, we want to roll this and seal those cheese and beans in nice and tight. We want to seal all of it nice and tight. So what we're going to do is grab one end of the bacon and just pull it all up together. And then we're just going to pull that in tight, like so. Just pull that in, pull it all in, and then just roll, just like that. And now we just want to close down the edges, the ends, because we don't want any of that filling to come out of these ends. So where the sausage meat is, we're just going to stuff that all in and just try and seal it off. Close the door. We don't want none of those cheese and beans escaping. So that's our cheese and bean stuffed sausage. Now we're going to go ahead, this is entirely optional, but I'm going to go ahead and put one of my favourite barbecue rubs on here. You can put your favourite herb seasonings, if you've got Cajun spice maybe would work well on this. Whatever you fancy on here, or you could just leave it plain and stick some barbecue sauce on at the end maybe. But I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle a bit of rub over this. This is now ready, so let's go over, get the fire started, get warm and get our food on. So as I always recommend, cook to temperature and not to time. So I'm using my handy little Thermopen dot here, and this is going to help us measure the internal temperature of this while it cooks. So we're going to go ahead, take our probe, put it into the middle of the sausage, and then keep an eye on the temperature using this. How handy is that? Obviously, if you're not going to be cooking this over a bonfire, if you're going to be cooking it in a barbecue or an oven, just preheat either of those to 200 degrees Celsius and stick this in and take it out when it reaches an internal temperature of 73 degrees Celsius. Once you're happy that you've crisped that bacon up, you've got a lovely colour on there, it's taken on some lovely flavours from the fire, we're now going to wrap it in foil. Now this is going to protect the cheese and the beans. What you don't want then is all coming out over that fire, causing flare-ups. So we're happy, we've got the smoky flavour we want on there, we've got the crispy bacon. We're going to wrap this up and pop it back on. Our Thermopen dot is telling us at 75 degrees internal temperature. This is obviously safe to eat at 73 degrees, so we're done. I always recommend just using your Thermopen to just double check. So we're just going to go in there, and as you can see there, 75 degrees, so we are good to go. Just check another couple of spots in there, 79. So this is done. We're going to take this off, stick it on the board with our other sausages, with our jacket potatoes, and we're going to slice in and see how we've done. And there we go, boys and girls. That's me trying to recreate a little bit of my childhood. Memories of bonfire night, fireworks, sausages, jacket potatoes. Here's my centrepiece, cheese and bean stuffed sausage. Let's cut in and have a look. Melted cheese, beans, we've got the sausage, we've got the jacket potatoes we're going to cut open, put some butter in, cheese and beans, whatever toppings you want to put on there. We've got our sausages. We've obviously kept an eye on the temperatures using the Thermopen dot. It's told me when it was 75 degrees when it's safe to take off. We've also used the Thermopen to check the internal temperature of the sausages, and again for this, and again, sausages are safe at 73 degrees. We've taken these off about 80 degrees, so they're done. The jacket potatoes are done. This is done. I'm going to take this in, get it all over my face. It's going to be messy. I don't care. It's bonfire night. We're recreating childhood memories here. I don't care if it's messy. So thank you for watching. I've been the Smoking Elk. You've been brilliant. And I'll see you again soon.